Here we go. Match is loaded. Kagulichu versus Kagulichu. Kagulichu will not make it to the finals, but a Kagulichu will.
That's true. I mean, at this point, Kagulichu wins the tournament. Like, that much is certain.
Team Kagu wins. Who on Team Kagu brings home the most money? That is up in the air. Novicane, we've seen a lot in this tournament, ending up the top seed after the Swiss rounds. Matbimonte starting off with an early loss, but winning out 6-1. So actually, two different sides of the bracket. Novicane fighting the XOs, Matbimonte fighting the X1s.
Good cards for both sides here, but I'd prefer to be on the side with 17,000 Crusaders.
Crusaders are cards. Crusaders are bigger to begin with. Runia Hierophant's no slouch though. Strangle on Runia Hierophant on the double death cry, taking out the Abomination, is pretty big. You're seeing a lot of strangles for a very good reason.
Strangle is a powerful card. Very powerful, in fact. To the point where, you know, Strangle and Hero Fall together might be pushing it just a little bit. Cost -4/-4 is a lot. So likely Hero Fall comes down here. It seems to be the favorite target for Hero Fall, because you may give them those two cards, which is definitely a problem, but you know, you stop that from ever happening again.
Besides the entire comeback from Crypt shenanigans, but you know, mostly.
So Yazıkan is all well and good, but there is no Gargolith to protect it, and unfortunately plenty of Hero Falls to stop it being a problem.
No other copies of Yazıkan to void though, so it's in the crypt exactly where Novicane doesn't mind it, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's true. We're one shot away from Gargolith as well, if you count the one in hand. And one shot away from Seeker on the other side. So interesting stuff. So we see Hero Fall come down to meet the bride. The bride says, I got a friend here. He says no. So that means the Cottontail is gonna actually pick up another shard, which means that Gargolith is online next turn. And on top of that, Seeker probably goes down here to get rid of that bride. So Gargolith potentially comes in and shuts off Rancor for the opposing side.
Kagulichi goes first, just in case. Actually goes for Paw of Yazıkan. Take out Eternal Seeker first. Though Gargolith is a known entity, this does keep the two Strangles open for who knows what they're going to be needed for. However, oh, that's Rockpaw Gang. Still good. Still a 6/6 with a Battle Hopper now that can sacrifice to give it Flight or Life Drain.
It's good, but depending on the draws here, Gargolith definitely could win this game. If it goes down, though, he just seems reluctant to play it. Is it going to come down? No, just lets it go. Lets it go past.
I think he may want to kill it in response to a sacrifice to give it a... I don't think that stops it, though. a keyword. Palviaza can block. We see a strangle in response. A strangle in response. So even if life drain were to be a thing, life drain won't matter for this combat.
Okay, so that's again, this would be amazing if that Gargalith was already down. And it isn't amazing currently. But we do see the Strangle tried there. I guess Novicane playing a little bit smart there. Understanding that the
and then sacrificing it for flight.
The option of saying I don't have any removal was there. So actually baits out removal from Matbimonte there. I think that was unwise. And now Novicane suddenly has Bimonte like on the ropes here with a flying Rotpaw gang that has Spell Shield and a 7-8 on the ground too. I think Bimonte pulling the trigger there was a huge mistake.
Safe enough for Finteo? No, never safe for Finteo.
Well, that's true. Too bad.
And now Rotpaw gang can gain life drain, increasing this health differential. Currently 11 to 21. Life drain on the Rotpaw gang. Gargalith going to be chump blocked by a Battle Hopper. That's going to take Matbimonte down to 5. Novicane at 27. And the last card, Palviaza cannot target anything. Can target his own card.
Ken's actually quite a nice pickup here. Has flight, has lethal, so the Rotpaw isn't going through this turn. There's a Fenteo. Gotta see the hero before the game's over. The hero of time, the hero of legend.
Trade with Yazukan. But it is a Rotpaw gang. Takes out, sacrifices Exarch for Rotpaw gang to come back. Need another flight answer now. Matbimonte hanging in there. That's not a flight answer. That's it.
Not sure what happened there, but it looks like when Novicane played Bride and passed the turn, it looked to Matbimonte like there was no option for removal there, or no good option for removal. So he tried to capitalize on it, thinking that he wasn't going to be answered, and then obviously the hero fall was there to take the Rotpaw in response, and yeah, that's kind of where the game was lost.
Game 2, Matbimonte versus Novicane. Matbimonte taking the play this time, both players keeping their hands. Matbimonte needs to win this game to stay alive in this top 4 match.
That's that little Eagle-Aki. Pretty cool card. We haven't seen it make anything ridiculous yet, but it has done some work. Free cards are free. And we see the Acolyte of Shoku there. So Matbimonte's hand's a little bit suspect, honestly. It's got the potential to be good, but honestly, against a deck that has 4,000 removals, it probably isn't great. And on the other side, we have all of the powerful cards. We have Bride, Crusader, Rotpaw, and Yazukan. So all of those cards that we've seen putting in work all day, all present in Novicane's hand.
Eagle-Aki creates Profane Ritualist. When a troop dies, it gets +1/+1 and has flight. And it's not going to survive for long, most likely, but if it does...
It's a shame that it doesn't trigger from cards just going to the crypt deck. Oh, we have a Fenteo with no removal in Novicane's hand. A promise of hope here for Matbimonte with that draw.
And if that Acolyte of Shoku survives a turn, that can even be a turn playing Fenteo. Well, you need the Well of Ancients or Blood Shard in order to play it. I was going to say, could Wild Ice. Don't see a reason for Profane Ritualist over Fenteo. Nothing really kills it, but that can set up future plays. Looks like we see the second blood. An eager lackey attack.
We see the Ritualist go down. A little bit of a potential greed there from Matbimonte.
I think it's greedy, but it also Akkad of Shoku for 3 resources creates a Dreadling. And Dreadlings die. No matter what. Profane Ritualist is going to grow. Unless the opponent has removal, or perhaps trying to slip the Ritualist under the radar.
I think what's really going on here is that knowing that Kagu's going to at some point hit that charge power, getting the 2 triggers on Exarch seems to be the plan. One from Exarch itself and one from Fentio the Brood Priest. But it is, you know, potentially giving Novicane more chances to get rid of this Fentio before it activates. Like, one more draw could be all he needs, and obviously you can't see the hand right now, but there isn't an answer currently.
That can change very quickly. And from here on out, Akkad of Shoku activations most likely. Spiders and Dreadlings. Tarantulas. However, this is 2 Underworld Crusaders. Looks like they'll go in. Exarch most likely trading with 1 here. Reducing 8 damage is a lot. 4 is bearable. And you are
double buff,
making your opponent lose 2. And yes, the double buff.
Buff on Richard. So
Gravebane
still
Vial.
Don't see removal, but we do see Gravebane Vial, which is very interesting. And Fentio is going to activate. This is fantastic for Matbimonte. Those Fentio eggs are very good against Kagalichu, both because they kill things and also because basically Kagalichu buries himself out.
Now, the Bride of the Damned is in hand, and there are 2 Monsagi Lily pads, so Novicane can reach 5 blood threshold. But with no removal to support it, what is the plan for getting there? The Bride is a lethal blocker. The Bride also gives troops -1/-1. But all of that is going to grow this Profane Ritualist, who's already 5/5. Outside Strangle range.
Tarantula, not this time. Not this time. Does Contail hit Tarantula? Possible.
That's the risk now with the Fenteo activation. That could have been 2 Fenteo activations. Novicane dodging the bullet is at 9 health. Matbimonte at 13 also. Those Underworld Crusader attacks with nothing to block are continuing. Shoku's going to stay up there. Matbimonte down to 9 apiece now.
I can't believe this Ritualist is causing all these problems. So we see the draw 2 there. This could be a Tarantula egg as well. Surprisingly, we don't see the activation of Fenteo first, but hits one anyway, and that's going to be GG. Wow. Wow.
1-1. One game separates. One game is going to separate top 4 from finals. Is it going to be Novicane? Is it going to be Matbimonte? Novicane will be on the play this game. All right. Matbimonte doesn't have sleeves, but Novicane's bringing a 61 card deck.
No sleeves and 61 cards. Nice battle board, by the way. You can potentially win that in the bash today.
Everybody in the top 8 has gotten this battle board. Will get this battle board if they do not already have it.
It's true, and 68 players at the tournament today, so the chances for door prizes are quite high.
Eevee's pretty good. Come out, enjoy some Constructed, enjoy the new meta. But for now, we've got top 4, the final match in top 4 for us to cover. If I were to describe this hand, it'd be Blood and Wild.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I had something better. Rotten Rancors on both sides. Underworld Crusaders. Steal intel for Matbimonte on top.
Yeah, I'm not sure what Matbimonte thinks he's doing here with no sleeves, but it's it's very clear to everyone that you do get that +1 bonus when you have a sleeve.
This is true. 100% completely documented and proven.
Not sure what the +1 is too, but it's definitely a
No,
fact.
definitely +1.
+1. That ever important culmination. That's a scary card for Matbimonte. I did previously quite like Matbimonte's hand here, but it's looking a little bit worse now if he doesn't have it.
Discarding a Munsagi coins to grab a Rune Hierophant. Not bad.
3 resources too there from that draw 3 Cottontail Explorer. Pretty nice. Nothing to discard of note though.
3 times more effective than Renner.
Second combination.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Two culminations, but can play 3 drops for the next few turns. Those speed Underworld Crusaders, they are big, beefy 4/4s, socketed with speed, as opposed to the slower but more anti-flight option, Skyguard Steadfast.
It's a good hero fall.
Those hero falls that give your opponent 2 cards, but avoid all the Crusaders but the one except one. Especially taking ones from hand. When you hear Hierophant being played by Novicane, Battle Hopper pumps it up by +1/+1, gets +1/+1 whenever a troop enters play. Only a few more months of Rune Hierophant, a couple more months, and we'll rotate out with the release of Set 8, as will all of Armies of Myth and Primal Dawn. Above standard. You can still play them in Immortal, you can still play them in PvE.
Doesn't just pump up the Hierophant. It also adds another troop to the board, which may be important for culmination. And the Strangle here actually kills off the Abomination too, which means that one more troop goes into that crypt and one doesn't come out, and this culmination is online, and that is huge.
And what's in hand? Finteo, Rotten Rancor.
Big stuff to lose, honestly.
The culmination is actually 4 cost right now. Here it goes. Strangle on Blight Blossom because the card will be lost anyway. And now Matbimonte's left with nothing. Kaglucho can bring one back.
Looking very sad.
Put his facing Hero Fall Strangle. Another culmination if you come back.
0 cost one this time.
Oh, do you second culmination right now and just get rid of that last card, or do you wait a little bit?
I think if you're not planning to play a threat out, you just don't worry about it, right? It's obviously not a troop, or it'd be on the board. And the only other troops you got to worry about are like 7 cost anyway, so probably just fine. Cottontail here potentially adds to that hand in a significant manner.
Rotpaw Gang in the crypt, so likely should not do it this turn and should do it on a future turn. I mean, what's the chance your opponent has a second culmination of blood in hand, though?
Oh, this is just disgusting. So the Gravebane Vial comes down. Matbimonte can, if he chooses to, sacrifice something to get that Rotpaw back before this Gravebane Vial goes off. Doesn't though, just lets it happen.
It's gone.
They're all gone. So there was the opportunity there for Matt to get the rock paws back with those 2 troops he has on board, but didn't do, obviously, because he couldn't play the rock paw on that turn. Which means now they're all gone.
Just in case you haven't seen Greybane Vial before, we saw it like one other time, but not played this game. It can void all cards in an opposing crypt. And the Rotpaw sacrifice to go back to hand is basic, so that wasn't an option.
Man,
the other 2 are not.
It's so rough. Like, your hand's been destroyed, your crypt has been destroyed, and top decking and playing off the top is not something Caglici wants to do without a crypt and without a hand.
Caglici has no test subjects, no dead things. It's sad. But Novicane's Caglici, oh, super happy. Look at that, Rotpaw gang, holding Hero Fall Strangle in hand. Oh, but Culmination costs 3 now because I voided my opponent's crypt. Oh no. But Matbimonte managing an Eternal Seeker out. Will it be hit by Hero Fall? Yes, it will. Boarding 3 other copies, a 4 of in this deck. 4 of a 7-cost troop. You know that's gotta be good. Caglici gets a Battle Hopper. Back to Matbimonte, who's held those 2 cards in hand. Getting a few more resources.
Not out just yet, but the hand on the other side is still pretty good. The combination
still has a lot.
0 cost now.
Still has a lot to weather. Rodent Rancor.
Good. Yazakan's good, but there is a Seeker on the other side and a free combination.
I think it's been enough time that this culmination is probably just going to be thrown out. It's free. Your opponent's been holding 3 cards. You know they got 2 resources and played 1. What else could they be holding? They only have 1 resource up. And is this going to open the way up for Fenteo? Culmination. Not once, but twice has Matbimonte been forced to discard hand. That is 8 cards, but not very many resources. That looked like a dangerous hand earlier, but Novicane as Caglici has reached this point in the game where both of them...
So the Strangle there put Yazakan's attack down below 0, so it couldn't do any damage when the battle happened, which means that the lethal didn't count, and then Bride of the Damned came in and took it away. What a fantastic line.
Took your hand, took your crypt, take your board. What's left? Take your health. That's what's happening now. Novicane taking it all away. Steal your Cottontails, your Yazakan. Take away your pride. I'm playing Fenteo. Attack you with your Yazakan. It's going to take a Waltz of the Damned. Waltz of the Damned.
Waltz of the Damned, yeah, is a potential answer, but there is a lot of damage coming through. The Hierophants have come back on. There's a Strangle in hand as well, and there's also a Seeker, and Fenteo started doing its thing. So it's pretty difficult for Matt to get back in this game. But There's a lot that's been done here by reserves. The Gravebane Vial was an excellent choice if you're expecting to see a lot of Kagu. Even if you're not, like, you've got to expect to see Kagu, so it's a pretty strong choice of reserve card.
That deck is getting smaller and smaller, though. Not small enough. That is not a Waltz of the Dam. That's a Runia Hierophant. Matbimonte still at 16, though. The Hierophants can be chump blocked. Unfortunately, Eternal Secret can void the Runiers. Strangle can kill the Battle Hopper. And just leave Matbimonte with nothing. Nothing left. I guess 10 cards in Crypt. Just got to get rid of the deck also. Just be like, all right, you've lost. You have nothing left. Second Finteo activation. Actually, no, you've got cards. You'll have cards. Finteo says you'll have cards. Tarantula eggs, but cards nonetheless.
Yeah, so there was actually lethal here if the Strangle Seeker line was taken with nothing in hand to oppose it, which is not that important, honestly, but worth noting.
Brides can't be answered. Bride just taking all these, like, you don't want to be on that side. That side's got nothing. We have everything. Join Novicane.
It's a lot of Hierophants. There's a lot of Hierophants. Oh my word. Tarantula Egg just to finish things up.
Could it get any worse?
Oh, that's true, yeah. I forget it voids all the ones. All of the ones, so it wouldn't have been lethal. Would not have been a lethal, but Fentio did get to activate and did get to get some Tarantulas out. Even if it was the very last thing that happened, it still happened, so I'm happy. So Matt going out in the top 4 there, but definitely a good showing from Matbimonte.